Well, look, we've got Maurice Hooker, who's the current WBO light welterweight champion of the world. We've got Danny Roman, the WBA super bantamweight champion of the world. We're working with Beterbiev, the light heavyweight champion of the world. We've got Jessie Vargas, who has been a long time. He's a two-weight world champion. We've got Demetrius Andrade, who I think is one of the best middleweights in world boxing today.
Right.
We're launching the platform with the biggest star in world boxing, Anthony Joshua. We've made some nice progress, and in the meantime, they've bought the World Boxing Super Series, 16 of our shows from the UK, with Bellator stuff as well. And at $9.99, this is $2.50 a week.
Right.
This is a new way to digest content. People talk about $100 pay-per-views. That's got to go. And we do our pay-per-views in the UK. They're $25.
Yeah. Right.
And over here it's sometimes $100 for a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So we're working hard on the model, and I think it's going to be really exciting.
Thank you.
Cheers, thank you.
Eddie, was it difficult to pull all this together? I mean, you've got the two-fight Wembley deal. You're in negotiations with Deontay Wilder's team, and you've got all this stuff going on.
Yeah, we're always, the business is about spinning plates. We're spinning about 80 plates right now. We're talking to fighters, 20 fighters about signing with Dazn. We're building our October 6th show, we're building our October 20th show, we're building our November 17th show. We're also building 24 shows in the UK as well. And finally the air conditioning's come on, this is a beautiful thing. So this is exciting, and obviously this is just a small taste of where we're at. We're only in July, we have 2 months till launch. It's going to be a huge amount of news coming over the next couple of months. We have Michael Buffer exclusively with Matchroom and Dazn now. He can't work for anybody else, which is an honour. We've got some unbelievable commentary team and presentation team that will be announced shortly. And we've made great progress. We had a bit of drama up there, and it's all good.
Drama sells though, that's good.
Drama does sell. People like to see it. And people have to understand as well that these guys, they're fighters. You can be, Anthony Joshua is a great role model, but he loves to fight. And he was ready to do it right then with Big Baby Miller.
How critical was it for you to get guys like Jessie Vargas, Demetrius Andrade?
It's about opening up divisions and enticing other talent in. So when you look at now, you have Maurice Hooker, the 140-pound world champion. You have Jessie Vargas. There's two natural opponents for Mikey Garcia, So we have Artur Beterbiev. That's a natural opponent for Dmitry Bivol and Sergei Kovalev. We have Demetrius Andrade. That's a natural opponent for Danny Jacobs or Billy Joe Saunders. So it's about having key players in important divisions and then bringing talent around those as well. And I feel like we made a great start.
Was it just coincidence that the WBO ordered, obviously, Billy Joe Saunders has to defend his title against Boo Boo?
It's done very quickly. So, listen, in an ideal world, our plan with Boo Boo was to get him active again. Get him out on October 6th in Chicago. Then the WBO have ordered Saunders, so now we've got to work on that. And hopefully we can bring that fight to Dazn as well.
Can you talk about how, right now, you're getting a lot of resistance in the United States because of this ad. So can we clarify some things? We're getting 16 shows from the UK, correct?
Yeah.
All right, and those are those Matchroom Fight Night cards?
Yeah, Saturday night Fight Night cards.
Okay. Are we getting the next gen cards?
Yep.
Okay, and we're getting...
So you're getting 16 shows from the UK. You're getting 16 shows from the US. You're getting 3 weight classes from the World Boxing Super Series. And you're getting all the Bellator content as well.
For $9.99. So why do you
$2.50 a month.
So why do you
they felt like it was going to be $24.99 a month, $19.99 a month. They've come in at a great price. The only resistance I'm seeing is from the powers that be within the sport. But that's expected.
Is that because right now, for example, the number's been floating around, has been close to $1 billion over 8 years?
Yep.
So, is there more signings that you're working on that could be finalized today?
Yeah, loads. I mean, today was about showing what we've been working on the last 6 weeks. There are contracts out with another dozen fighters. Right now, we have 3 world champions. We have 2 weight world champions. We have the biggest star in world boxing open up the platform on September the 22nd. Since we last met, we've also acquired the 3 weight class in the World Boxing Super Series. We're talking about $2.50 a week. Okay? So this is a must for fight fans. And what we've done today is opened up the divisions where we can go in, like I just explained. When you're talking to people like Mikey Garcia and say, he says, well, who can I fight? So, well, you can fight Maurice Hooker and you can fight Jessie Vargas straight away. Beterbiev. Let's bring on Bivol, let's bring on Kovalev. Anthony Joshua, Jarrell Miller's now joined the platform. We're talking to other heavyweights as well. So it's just about, continuously signing fighters, building the fight cards, and October 6th we get underway.
Eddie, quick question about, obviously boxing has taken a little bit of dip here in the States.
Yeah.
What do you see the zone bringing back the casual fan?
I think you're going to talk about affordable content. You're going to talk about these big cards and these 4 pay-per-view style nights whereby you haven't got to pay $100 to watch this. You've got to pay your traditional subscription. And really, I think one of the problems you have is competing with linear schedules. And what I mean by that is when we go on HBO, we come on at 10 or 11 o'clock and we've got to go off air at midnight because there's a movie on. Here we have no linear obstruction, so we can start at 6 o'clock. We can end at midnight. We can show you every punch that was shown on the card. You know, and I think that's important to fight fans. I want to build a new commentary team, put on great fights. The content is always key. And with our 32 shows, with the World Boxing Super Series, with the Bellator, this is great value and we're only just getting started.
Now, along with the boxing, are you guys setting up any type of shows, talk shows, things that get
absolutely, absolutely. This is going to be a platform for fight fans, built by fight fans. So I get the chance to implement all the things that I'd like to see. So why can't we go on air at 3 o'clock from the arena, just do 3 hours chatting, chatting boxing. We all like to talk boxing, get you guys in. Let's just talk amongst ourselves. It's great content. Fight fans love to discuss and you know, be involved in disputing and discussing the fights that are ahead. So all of that stuff, the preview shows, you know, there's some major announcements happening in the next couple of weeks about presenters, about commentators, and it is absolutely first class, the best of the best.
One last question for you. Advertising-wise, what's the game plan to get it out around the world, and especially here in the States?
An absolute colossal budget that Dazn have that are going to spend. They're going to be innovative, they're clever people, they've done this in other markets before, they have a massive game plan in the US. This is just the beginning. This is what, 6 or 7 weeks later than the start, we're 2 months out from the launch. There are going to be announcements coming virtually every day over the next period about our October 6th show in Chicago, October 20 it looks like we're in Los Angeles, and November 17th in Vegas, December in New York. It's busy times.
I have one more question. Will your fighters be, will Matchroom USA, the Zone fighters, be exclusive to the Zone? For example, can they fight on HBO?
Depends in what situations. For example, we're not looking to obstruct fighters in that respect. A lot of the time, politics gets in the way of fights. So I'll give you an example. If Maurice Hooker fights Saucedo, which is his next fight.
Is that regular ESPN Plus?
Yeah,
the Zone?
No, but if that goes to purse bids and we lose the purse bids, Hooker's fighting on ESPN. No problem. No problem. We're not looking to be obstructive in that respect. No, so the plan is to build these fights. The plan is to win the purse bid for Hooker Saucedo. That's a good fight for our California card. You know? But we know there'll be times Demetrius Andrade against Billy Joe Saunders for the WBO World title. I want to win that purse bid. If I lose the purse bid, he has to go to the UK. No problem. I don't say to him, "Oh no, you can't do that, son." That's not what we're about.
That's what a lot of people were thinking.
No, but that's the problem. That's the problem with boxing, and that's when you deal with bitter people in boxing. Come back to me in 10 years, I'll be one of those people.
Okay.
But right now, I'm not.
Okay, so to piggyback off of that question, when it comes to, you know, whenever it does happen, I've seen all of your interviews. I'm not going to ask you the same questions over about Wilder again. But when it comes to Wilder or Joshua, excuse me, Joshua versus Wilder, you know, the A side, is it a situation where the Zone and Showtime have to work together to co-broadcast?
Possibly. It's all up for discussion. Basically, who's going to pay the most money? And the answer is Dazn. So it doesn't mean that when we had the deal with Wilder in place and the points that he'd agreed with, it wasn't. There was no. He knew it was on Dazn. We controlled the rights. He was on a purse. It wasn't a split and then it goes to the biggest bidder. Or we were going to. By the way, it didn't mean that fight was on Dazn. That fight could have been on Showtime pay-per-view. But let me tell you, for the numbers that it would generate from a UK fight, Dazn would have paid a lot more money. So that's probably where it would have gone. But we're not looking, this isn't about Showtime and HBO and we're going to drive them into it. This is about doing what's best for the fighters, generating the most amount of money for the fighters and the best content for fight fans. So right now the plan for Anthony Joshua is to continue his career on Dazn. Will that change in the future? Who knows? The focus right now is September the 22nd, April the 13th after that at Wembley. We hope it's Deontay Wilder.
Eddie, by the end of this year, 2018, you might have 2 out of the 4 major belts at middleweight with Danny Jacobs' fight and Demetrius Andrade. Is there a possibility unification bout might happen?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Obviously, you've got Danny Jacobs is with HBO right now. We're honouring that contract, and then you've got Demetrius is with Dazn, and that's what. One of the things about bringing in these key talents from the division is to be able to make those big fights. When we talk about, go back to Beterbiev, let's make Bivol Beterbiev, let's make Kovalev Beterbiev, Bivol. Danny Jacobs, Roman, let's make the unification fights for him at super bantamweight as well. Maurice Hooker, let's talk about making him against Ramirez or other guys out there, WBSS. Jarrell Miller, let's make him against Dillian White, him against Anthony Joshua. So we've got those guys now where we can start to make that happen. And I'm telling you, all the guys that have come with us, they will never, ever regret this moment. Because they're going to make great money. They're going to box all the time. They don't have to ask when they're fighting, only box once a year. They're going to be pushed by us. The Zone are going to spend millions and millions of dollars to push their brand. So, congratulations to the ones that got on board.
With Andrade, right? He was with Banner's promotion, What was the pitch from you to tell him? What was the difference?
Just because he knows me, he knows what we do, he knows how we promote our fighters. He wants to keep active, he wants to earn loads of money. It's a very simple formula. If you want to be promoted correctly, if you want a broadcast that's going to spend millions of dollars on you, if you want to stay active, if you want to earn more money than you can earn anywhere else, come with me. If you don't, no problem. Enjoy fighting once a year.
Has Jacobs mentioned to you anything about Sergey Derevyanchenko, knowing that they're personal friends, they train together, same gym? Is there some way that he didn't want to fight, he wanted another route maybe?
Jacobs. Jacobs wanted to do it. Jacobs was the one pushing for it. He, at the end of the day, that fight's sensitive. They've got the same trainer, they know each other. But basically, Jacobs says, I want to fight for the world title. And Derevyanchenko said, so do I. And we said, good luck, shake hands, he's on.
How does the Saunders fight with Demetrius Andrade come about with the whole situation?
I'll win the purse pick. That's how it happens. That's how it goes down.
Politics getting in the way of that?
No, I mean, the only thing I say on Demetrius Andrade is the plan was to come back October 6, December, get active, raise the profile again, then this WBO fight come along. But he doesn't want to turn his back on the WBO fight. So now we've got to go out, negotiate that. If there's a deal, great. If not, I'll win the purse bid, we'll do it on Dazn.